in terms of like, let's say foundational exercises in calisthenics, in my mind it's like pull-ups, push-ups, dips, maybe like pike push-ups for shoulders, maybe leg raises. What kind of, what movement should people master?
It's a good question. So as a like list of exercises, we always have, well, overall, like uh, it's important also to keep it simple, right? You can get lost into a lot of different variation of exercises, but if your goal is really building strength and muscle, you gotta keep it simple and focus on the basic movement patterns. So we have what pull-ups, push-ups, dips, pike push-ups, um, that then will transfer into handstand push-ups, right? And yeah, so and then for the core, L sit is one of my favorite exercises, and toes to bar, which can start from hanging knee raises to hanging leg raises, and then slowly building your way up um, to toes to bar, in which you hang from the bar and you bring your feet to the bar. Now, what I think is informative to know is how do I think should the progression in exercises look
Mm.
like for a beginner. So the first thing that you want to work on is the basics. So getting strong with those basic movements, so pull-ups, whether you're starting with assisted pull-ups, you want to build your way up to mastering the pull-ups. And then one of the mistakes that people do is jumping from pull-ups to muscle up, right? That's not how it works. You do once you are at pull-up point, you're just grasping the level of pulling strength that you need to do a muscle up and move forward towards more advanced calisthenics exercises. So stay there, stay on your pull-ups a little more, add weights. Uh, you can do, again, unilateral variation, side to side pull-ups. Depending from your weight, you can do archer pull-ups. They might be a little difficult if you're more than 70 kilograms. But definitely, just work on getting stronger with your pull-ups. Like doing, for example, 3 sets of 5 repetitions with 20 kilograms is going to be a good indicator that it's time to do muscle up training. So when it comes to pull, I'd
Hmm.
say pull-ups, then kind of next level pull-up strength, and then you can start working on your muscle up. Once you're working on the muscle up, you can start implementing as a secondary focus front lever, okay? But it needs to be secondary focus because here's another thing. Uh, People see calisthenics, all of these different movements, the planche, handstand push-ups, one arm pull-up, back lever, and you want to do them all, you cannot. You need to, if you want to progress efficiently, you need to have, I would say that it's better if you have one focus per muscle group. So pulling, muscle up, for example, then pushing, handstand push-up, okay? And then you move forward and you change the focus over time. And so that's for pulling. When it comes to pushing, of course, you need the basic strength to do push-ups. But usually, my experience with my clients, usually my clients, when they start with me, they are able to do already push-ups. So a lot of people perhaps would put you into do dips, but I prefer to have you focusing on pike push-ups and then dips as a secondary exercise. If it's too hard for you, you can do them with assistance, and you, as a beginner, you'll be able to still make progress with your dips, even though it's a secondary exercise. But the reason why I put the focus in the pike push-ups, because then uh, I like to progress as towards the handstand push-up, right? Of course, you could
Hmm.
progress in your pushing strength with like weighted dips, but handstand push-up is cool, and it transfer very well in what you would probably want to do next in calisthenics, which is planche. So planche is mainly a shoulder-focused exercise, and handstand push-ups will make your shoulders ready to start working on planche.
If you're enjoying the video this far, you'll like my free community full of like-minded people looking to get fit, vibrant, healthy, lean, happy, you name it, energetic. Yeah, so I'll leave that top link in the description. Enjoy the rest of the video and eat your fruit, baby.
Yeah, those are the main thing. When it comes to organizing your workout, I think for me, in my opinion, you only need 3 exercises in your workout. You have your main exercise, your secondary, your tertiary exercise. You want to do between 15 to 20 sets per muscle group per week. 20 is optimal, and what's also optimal is to split those sets between 2 workouts. So you hit the muscle twice per week, and you have 2 opportunities per week to make progress in your main exercise. So you actually want to repeat, especially the first exercise, you want to do the same. So you can imagine, you're doing 3 sets of 5 of the pike push-up, your first push workout, and your second, you can already 3 sets of 6, and you progress 2 times per week, or at least this is the idea. And then you want to organize these 3 exercises in a way that the intensity decreases as you move within the workout and you move to the next exercise, and the volume increases. So for example, you're focusing on developing your pulling strength, and you're doing pull-ups, some variation of pull-ups as your first exercise, and you're doing this 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 repetitions. Okay, so 3 to 5 repetitions is like the strength range. Working on this range allows us to move quicker towards more advanced and difficult variation, compared to if we are doing I don't know, 8 to 12 repetition, which by the way is one of the mistakes that people do. They get stuck with wanting to do 12, 15 pull-ups. I want to do 20 pull-ups in a row. But again, strength endurance, it's a very specific work, and it's not the most optimal. I'll say something about strength endurance. Let's finish the organization of a workout plan. So first exercise, we focus on strength, 3 to 5 repetitions. Second exercise should be, so let's say we did regular pull-ups as the first exercise. Our second exercise, what we can do is switching up, choosing a different variation. We do chin-ups, okay, with the palm facing us. Okay, so we are stimulating a little bit more the bicep while doing the chin-ups, but we will do the chin-ups with assistance. So we use a band, so we can do a minimum of 5 repetitions, up to 8. It could be even 10. Find the way you enjoy workout the most. That's also important to understand. And then our last exercise is where we're really getting into some kind of easy exercise that we can do at higher repetition. That's going to help us get our muscle to failure. And for a pull training, pull workout could be Australian pull-ups, which are horizontal pull-ups. And you do that between 4 to 6 sets, 8 to 15, or even 20 repetitions is still going to be effective to get that high. So now you notice that I've used rep ranges, right? So those rep ranges are not random. They indicate some important things in the workout. First of all, the minimum amount of repetition will indicate if you're working at the right intensity, meaning that if you cannot match that minimum amount of repetition, the exercise is too difficult for you. Okay, it doesn't make sense to do something difficult when you are already tired, and that's why we do strength at the beginning. of our workout. That's why we go intense and hard when you're fresh. That's when you can. This is another crazy thing that I see people doing in calisthenics park. So everyone wants to do a muscle up. Okay, cool. But what do you do after you already smashed 3 sets of pull-ups? Like you're already struggling with pull-ups. Then you want to do something that's more difficult after you've done 30 pull-ups? That's just not going to happen, man. Okay, so if you, for example, are already into muscle up, do it at first thing in your workout because that's your hardest pulling exercise. And then go into easier exercises after. And so yeah, that's the minimum. So the lowest number in our rep range, it tells us if the intensity and difficulty is right. And then the highest number is our goal. This is what we want to achieve over the weeks. And once we are there, then we will be ready to reduce the volume again, but increasing the intensity. So if I'm doing pull-ups and I got in 1 month time to 3 sets of 5 repetitions, what I can do now is adding 5 kilograms to my pull-ups and go back to lower volume, so 3 sets of 3 reps, and doing it again over time. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. I think that's a lot of good knowledge and info. I think definitely I agree. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to do like something intense at the end, like you say, because your form's going to be compromised. And yeah, exactly. So yeah, so it sounds like you have a mixture of explosive at the start to develop that power and absolute strength, and then
that's what I wanted to say about strength endurance. So you can make progress with high reps. That's possible. But at the end of the day, if you get stronger, it's going to be just easier for you to do high reps with an easier exercise. Just imagine if you can do pull-ups with 60 kilograms, isn't it going to be easier to do 20 pull-ups without the extra weight? Okay, so it's more effective, whatever is your goal, to bring up your strength. And then if you want to do in the future, perhaps you want to beat some kind of record with your pull-ups and push-ups, the strength is going to allow you to do that in a more efficient way.